Hello everyone and welcome back to Tarot and Torch. So today we have an unboxing, which I am very excited about. First we're just going to get a little cozy here and light our winter candle. The deck that we are unboxing is from Broccoli, and it is one that I saw on Chanel's channel, actually, on her end of the year tarot tag, I believe. And it's funny because in that video she was just showing the deck and talking about how it wasn't quite for her, and I saw the images and thought, well, I feel like that is a deck for me. So I love how we can on TarotTube just have different kind of styles and interests and find things that do work for us in that way. So this is my first Broccoli deck. I've always been drawn to the mushroom oracle as well, so I'm sure that I will get that one at some point. So today's unboxing is the Fairy Tale Oracle. And when I saw the cards for this on Chanel's channel, I felt this beautiful, cozy, and a little bit of a dark aesthetic as well with the fairy tale images. So this reminds me of the old fairy tale books, and let me know if you have ever seen what I'm talking about, but there used to be these books that were the red fairy tale book, the blue fairy tale book, I think there may have been a yellow one and a green one, but I'm not entirely sure of that. And somewhere I think I still have the red fairy tale book. But this reminds me so much of that from what I've seen. So I'm very excited to dig into this oracle. Wow, that is so gorgeous. The inside of the box. Oh, and there's on the bottom of the box as well. As you can see, I've not really seen very much of this deck or any kind of walkthroughs, so I'm very excited to see what this deck holds. The only thing that I've seen was the cards that Chanel showed, but I so far am very much liking the aesthetic and the feeling of this deck. It is what I was hoping for in this just classic kind of art and imagery. And the dark colors I feel are perfect, even though I normally associate fairy tales more with the spring. I feel that this is also great for the winter months, and that's where I intend to mostly use it. Oh, that's interesting. So the suits are categorized by beings, I suppose, or there's just these different beings in the suits. like cat, dragon, maiden, royal, fairy. So that's interesting. And it, you know, there's not a lot in the guidebook, it seems, but it is full color and has a nice little, oh, okay, I see. So there's categories of places, beings, things, and I think that's all. Okay, so very interesting. We have wand. This painting, I love this painting and its meaning in terms of spell work. It may just be called something like the sorceress now that I think about it, but I love the art of this piece. I actually have this saved in a collection of art on my computer that I use from time to time. So I really love that it's there in this deck. And, you know, the collage here is interesting, and it does have a very quilted pattern, as Chanel had mentioned, and I really like that about it. I think it takes you into a little different direction, and with the way that you can work with it. Sword. Beautiful. And it does have 3 keywords, so the sword says challenge, defense, courage. Let's see, can I get a little bit more zoomed in? Okay. Then we have stone. And this is what I was exactly wanting from this. The colors are very much calling to me right now. These dark, muted, earthy, but also kind of vintage colors, the way that there's a dark cast on everything, but still depicting scenes of nature. I love that. So stone is generosity, sensitivity, wayfinding. Spindle. Oh, immediately we have this kind of Rumpelstiltskin feeling, or Sleeping Beauty, which is nice. And it says fate, storytelling, or surprise. Oh, the windows are magnificent here. I love these windows. If I ever have the opportunity to buy a cottage in England, somewhere in the countryside, I'm going to make sure it has these windows. Oh, rose. This is so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous color, and just it feels very juicy and romantic, but again, not in an overt kind of way. The color itself kind of is the meaning here, and it's eternity, impossibility, and waiting. Potion. It's a very interesting bottle shape, and I love it. It just feels very magical. Desire, metamorphosis, healing. And especially with the contrast of colors for this one, you know, that bright glowing kind of green on that backdrop here of these kind of darker colors. Yeah, this deck feels very Christmassy to me. I don't know what it is. I love it. Mirror. Vanity, truth, reflection. And I love the, to speak on the card meanings and not just the visuals, I do appreciate that this is going into that, again, that shadow work territory with the vanity aspect here, and really thinking about that as a potential layer. Gold, wealth, excess, reward. And this one being what appears to be a crown. Let's see if I can get a better look at that. It could be a crown. It could also be, I suppose, a necklace or a bracelet. But I don't know why my mind went to crown, probably because of the cloth underneath, and it reminds me of those circlets that they wear around their head and then have a cloth over top. But it's a very interesting way to depict gold in a fairy tale setting, rather than like, you know, gold coins, which is what, you know, the mind can sometimes go there instead. So this is more thinking about the way that we dress and represent ourselves in terms of gold and wealth and all of that, which again adds a different nuance. Goblet. The colors, oh, they're so beautiful. I don't know what it is. Right now I am seeking these colors, these dark kind of winter royal colors, like royal blues and dark crimson reds, and you know, even this dark teal. Absolutely beautiful. Life, celebration, betrayal. Love that. Egg, vessels, creation, luck. Interesting. There's a chicken. Interesting. Okay, and this is most definitely a crown, diadem, wonder, aura, nobility. Okay, so yeah, this makes me think of Sleeping Beauty. So in the, and I'm talking the cartoon, the Disney version, that's what this deck really makes me feel like. And it's so funny because in that movie I always wanted to step into that world, especially when the fairies went into the jewelry box. Something about that scene, just the sensory aspect of it, was everything I want. Anyhow, so that's what this reminds me of, with those kind of medieval tapestries and cloth, and of course the crown itself. Cloak, disguise, armor, mystery. Very interesting. Cauldron, preparation, potential, convergence. And this cauldron, you know, when you see a cauldron, generally it's kind of that black cast iron. This one is more of a, almost like a coppery color, perhaps rusted. Broom, take off, good luck, labor. Labor is an interesting aspect of the broom here. You know, not just the witchy elements that we kind of are used to looking for, but also that element of actual using the broom. Ooh, bone. Speech, opening thresholds. This is gorgeous. I almost wish that they would have taken this kind of approach with more bones in the rest of the deck, because I really find that interesting in the landscape there and the plants. What a contrast that makes, not just visually but the meaning. Beans, reversals, exchange, and growth. That's an interesting concept about the bean and reversals. I wonder what it is about the bean that makes that so. Growth is, of course, something, and fairy tale wise, also it makes me wonder why they didn't kind of take that Jack and the Beanstalk approach, which would have been fun as well. Basket, resources, burdens, quests. Beautiful. Apple, knowledge, transcendence, abundance. Well, depth, echoes, wishes. Tower, bondage, ascendance, perspective. Yeah, this one has that kind of Rapunzel feel. And that, goes into the bondage meaning. Hollow tree, safe keeping refuge secrets. This one's very dark. Let's see. Hopefully these are showing up okay. Today is a very overcast day, so I turned on all the lights, and I don't know, I must have a dark room here. Hearth, the center, homecoming, interiority. I don't know why, but I feel like I've not heard that word used before. So that's strange. Forest, the unconscious in-betweenness and overcoming. Oh, I love the book here. There's a book right there. And I love the way that it's kind of being overshadowed by this cloth here. And then there's the forest beyond. Almost like you're in a tent looking out. Cottage, gorgeous. Curiosity, possibility, safety. Anyone who has longed for a cottage life, this is the deck. Cave, treasure, concealment, darkness. That is incredibly interesting. There's these figures kind of stacked almost. I'll have to take a deeper look at that one. Castle. That's beautiful. It almost looks like you could be standing on a bridge, kind of overlooking to the castle. Oh, and there's bridge. Junctions, tests, passages. Ball, destiny, turning points, revelation. Very Cinderella. Woodcutter, salvation, resourcefulness, humility. Wolf, cunning, duplicity, hunger. Unicorn, protection, rarity, fantasy. Swan, beauty, shape-shifting, and flight. How interesting. This looks like, it reminds me of Leda and the Swan, which was a bit sad. Steed, allyship, speed, and freedom. Sorcerer, power, magic, seduction. This is Morgan Le Fay, I believe, in Myth, who was King Arthur's sister, I believe. It depends on, I guess, what version of the legend you have read. The half-sister is generally what I believe she was. Royal, wealth, authority, achievement. Maiden, virtue, ingenuity, defiance. Defiance? How interesting. Perhaps in a naive kind of obstinate way. Goblin, mischief, guile, mirth. This actually, there's a poem by, is it Isabella Rossini? Is that her name? Something like that. I'll try to remember to add a note on that, but it is called Goblin Market, and it's a very interesting but very dark kind of poem about kind of vices and lust and things like that. But this definitely reminds me of that, and especially with the the mischief, guile aspect. But just, this looks like a piece of art that would go with that poem. Giant, strength, the unknown, immensity. That's kind of refreshing. I feel like we don't have many giants in our decks. At least I haven't seen them. Frog, illusion, transformation, faith. Aw. The Frog Prince. Fox, adaptability, trickery, intelligence. And the fox is darkly silhouetted, hidden there. That's very nicely done, I think. Fool, honesty, chance, innocence. Definitely also reminds me of Sleeping Beauty, the Disney version. There's a minstrel that's drinking and gets drunk underneath of the table and plays horribly. And that scene is hilarious. Fairy, enchantment, fortune, allure. Dragon, triumph, greed, guardianship. I used to do digital collage actually back in high school as just a hobby, and I did something similar to this, but it was in a crystal cave, and it had forest scenes around it, kind of, but it kind of reminds me of this dragon because it was a similar dragon art piece that I had used. Cat, helper, contentment, mastery. And this actually, I don't know why, but it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland's cat, Dinah. I love this deck. It is gorgeous. It is dark and whimsical in the best ways possible. this is going to be such a great winter deck for me. I'm so happy that I picked it up. I hope you enjoyed this very leisurely kind of walkthrough, and please let me know what you think about this deck, if you have it, if you've worked with it, if it's on your radar, anything that you found interesting about the video. And as always, I look forward to reading your comments, and I will talk with you very, very soon.